Here's where things get interesting now. Jim Harbaugh has major clout. He's an elite football coach. He's a reigning national champion at the University of Michigan and has now come back to the NFL after doing an outstanding job in the NFL as the coach of the San Francisco 49ers. Clearly, the franchise is his in Los Angeles with the Chargers. And if he has the power to bring him on as a coach, who's to say that he's going to be denied the opportunity to look at Kaepernick and say, you say you can still play, okay, Justin Herbert's our quarterback, but if you think you can make some contribution on the football field as a quarterback, let's say, for example, if Justin Herbert gets hurt or something like that, if you have him on your staff as a coach, who's to say you're not going to be able to give him an opportunity to play? And if Jim Harbaugh...
You got to be in football shape, Stephen.
I agree that. I agree.
He says he's still working out.
He's still working out.
But if Jim Harbaugh gives him the opportunity is all I'm saying.
Just took a twist I wasn't expecting, that's all.
Is all I'm saying.
So
that's what I'm saying. That's all I mean by that.
Okay, if I'm going to follow this logic here, he better take this coaching job so he could be closer to the NFL, but he could be with Harbaugh as a coach and then segue into being a player?
I'm saying, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Right.
Because he's been gone so long. I'm just saying there's nothing that's stopping, if you get him in as a coach in the NFL, there's nothing stopping you from ultimately putting him back on the field if you think he could do it and if he thinks he could do it, because Harbaugh would have that kind of clout.
We've seen odder trick plays. We've seen odder trick plays. Like, if you bring him in and he's in your organization and now you see him working out, because this is a guy who has said for a long, long time, I still want to help a team. I still want to help a team win a championship, and he's still been working out. I'm not saying at 36, not having been in the game for, 8 years, I think it's like the entirety of my youngest daughter's life. I'm not saying it's a good idea. But, I mean, we've seen weirder things happen.
No. Again, Aaron Rodgers is a New York Jet. So, yes, we've seen weird things happen in the NFL, right? But my question, when I heard this question asked, should he take the job as a coach? My thing is, does he want to even be a coach? And what you just laid out is a scenario where via being a coach, he can do this and be back on the field. Then I don't want him as a coach. Sign him as a player. Like, if that's what the ultimate goal is, he thinks he can still play. It's been 8 years. 8 years ago, people didn't want him. Now, 8 years later, he's older. And you made a great point. People in the NFL believed he wanted to be a martyr more than be a football player.
That's right.
So I don't like the idea of Kaepernick as a player now. I don't.
I have a lot I want to say to you, but I want you to get into my.
Here's my thing about Colin Kaepernick. What happened to him is one of the worst travesties we've ever seen in American sports. Number one.
I agree.
Number two, from him, I understand why, even going back to that workout you were talking about, he didn't like the things that they were trying to put on him in terms of parameters. He's like, no, they're trying to screw me again. I'm not gonna fall for the okie doke. I'm gonna go do something else. I understand why he did it.
And I don't necessarily even blame him for feeling that way.
That's my point. All right. Now it gets to the question of him in the NFL. Does he feel as if he needs the NFL in his life currently for any type of validation or anything? I believe that answer is no. So then it goes back to your point, Kim. Does he really want to coach? I think if he really wants to be a part of teaching young men and having an influence on the next generation, I think having this position only helps what he's trying to do off the field because of the direct access he has to young people.